Okay, here we are, game 13 versus the Vancouver Canucks. Leafs have absolutely destroyed them in the first two games. Scores 7-3, 5-1. Here we are, game three. This time I'm expecting a better Vancouver team. So here are my notes from the entire game. My notes just go through while I was watching it. And then I'll finish off with my final thoughts, bring it all back together. So to start the game, we have Holtby versus Anderson again. Holtby obviously was right pissed off at his team last game. So Travis Green threw him back in that net. I'm glad they did. He deserves to be in there. Also of note, Simmons is gone for 6 weeks with a broken wrist. Unfortunate for the Leafs. So what they do is to start the game, they got Mikheyev up with Tavares and Nylander. But I also noticed that he stays out with Kerfoot and Vesey. So they're going with the 11 forwards and 70 because Sandin makes his debut tonight. With Mikheyev, so they have him with Tavares, Nylander, then Kerfoot and Vesey, and then they do the reverse on this next shift where he goes Kerfoot and Vesey, and then he stays out with Tavares and Nylander. Also of note, last game I think Tavares only played like 16 minutes, so his time on ice, his average has gone well down. I'd like to see more of him on the ice. Fourth line, you have Barabanov, Boyd, and Spezza as well, and you'll see them throughout the game. They're going to be mixing it up. Spezza will get in there, Barabanov, Boyd. Again, they only have 11 forwards. So again, what I said, Sandin makes a debut, Leafs with 7D. Hopefully, this strategy continues with Sandin, where he gets in a few more times than Lettinen does, or did earlier on in the season when he was the 7th D. And as the game progresses, you see him entering the fray a little bit more in the third period anyway. First period, I believe he only had 3 shifts. Second period, 2. I don't remember how many in the third, but he was a factor in the third. You saw him out there a little bit more, even with the game very close. So the first goal of the game goes to the Leafs, and it's Matthews. He basically does a self-soft dump, goes for the puck, fights for the puck. Puck ends up to Brody. He goes D-to-D with Riley. Marner then gets it, and he does, Mitch Marner things at the blue line, finds a shooting lane, it goes through, and Hyman is just being a complete dickhead in front of the net. And what happens is, as he's being a dickhead and he's fighting Schmidt kicks the puck out of danger right to Morgan Riley, who's flying down the right side, picks up that loose puck, and honestly, I thought it was Matthews who scored. It was off his stick so quick. What a relief. What a release. And it's 1-0 Leafs. Just a full team effort on that goal. Following that, Anderson makes some good saves early, really early. Some really good saves. Off deflections, it's crowded in front. He's seeing the puck early, which is great to see. And really, he did this all game, and he's done it in every single game he's played against Vancouver. Even in that 3 goals against game. He looks good. Matthews is also helping my fantasy team early in this game. He's got some nice blocks in. I think they said he had 11 blocks already or something like that this year. He's doing it all. Leafs top line has constant movement in this first period in the Canucks zone. They're getting looks, but the only problem is not many shots are getting even towards the goal. I think going into the third period, Auston Matthews had 1 shot on goal, 2 shot attempts. So not very good. They're just not getting anything through or even getting a lane, but they had good movement. Now I know when I say this, people would go down like the stats line and say, like if you're just looking at stats after the game, you're going to see like the Leafs are getting absolutely trounced shots on goal. But you can't judge that compared to actually watching it live because you see what this line does. And they make Vancouver look silly. However, they couldn't get anything through. They are dangerous. They are making hell on the Vancouver Canucks. Though, I'm going to note right now, it did not last all game. However, it does come back at some point. So within saying that, the Canucks do look better than the Leafs in basically every facet of the game all the way through the lineup. There's a bit more oomph to them in the first period. They were pressuring the Leafs in their own zone. They had a better forecheck. They're making life hell for the Leafs, just like their top line were for the Canucks. But this is all 4 lines for the Canucks doing this. Toronto's even struggling just to break out. The chances and shots, they're all coming from the blue line though. They're all coming from like the outskirts, nothing high end, but there's traffic there, so they're getting lots of defections, and this is kind of what they needed to do to get something going versus the Leafs. Um, and that pressure that they permit, I guess, onto the Leafs, that pressure benefits them at 220 at the 220 mark. Kerfoot with a turnover, lots of turnovers tonight for Kerfoot. Turns it over at the red line. Both Muzzin and Hall, they're too far up the ice, and Vancouver goes the other way. Muzzin does have a good back check, and it makes it like into like a soft 2-on-1. But the puck goes over to Bailey, and he basically has a wide open net. And Freddie just slides over. Just a tremendously great read. Slides over, pad and glove, cover the net, and he makes an outstanding save. This is the Freddie Anderson that you saw all game. So again, Vancouver, they take it to the Leafs early, they take it to them throughout this entire period. This is kind of what I expected them to do on Saturday, but I guess getting spanked 2 games in a row by the same team, that's what it takes for the Vancouver Canucks to show up. And it doesn't hurt that Holtby, he made some really good point-blank saves when there were lulls in Vancouver's defensive play. He made one really good one on Riley with about a minute to go, and that was huge for them, as after one, they were only down 1-0 to the Leafs. Canucks, as a whole, looked really good. Anderson looked good. Marner's line looked decent, like good. Yeah, good at times. Leafs overall looked crap. I guess my take on shots on goal and time and attack was kind of right at some points in terms of the Matthews line, for the first anyway. So let's go on to the second. On to the second, and the Leafs continue to struggle. At 11:47, it's 20 shots to 5 Vancouver, and Leafs can't get anything going. No line can. Kerfoot and Tavares get good chances at one point, but no shots on goal. Vancouver gets some good chances, but Freddie stays strong in the net. Yeah, a couple times he might have went for a little swim out there, but he kept the puck out. That's all that matters. And then at 10:54, frustration boils over. Matthews takes an interference penalty on Juolevi. I think he cross-checks him. They call it interference. And yeah, frustration has entered the game for the Leafs. And then Kerfoot has another turnover. And this one, it sucks. He's right at the blue line. He bobbles the puck. I think it's Besser regains it, gets to Hughes. Hughes feeds it to Pettersson. Pettersson has time, and he snipes over the blocker. What a great shot. Unfortunate for Kerfoot. He's looking up at the scoreboard. He's upset with himself. It's 1-1. And then I wrote down, Leafs don't deserve this game. My first period thoughts, even of the top line, have vanished. The Leafs don't deserve this game. And then at 7:35, Leafs get a gift. When Pearson tangles up with Hyman, gets his stick caught in his skate, and they get a power play. Matthews even gets a golden chance with the goalie pulled before, I guess, the penalty is even called. Then on the power play, Nylander gets a tip from Marner's point shot, but that's literally it. That's all they do. Nada for the Leafs. The Canucks collapse well on the kill, and they kill it off. Then the Leafs go on the penalty kill after Riley trips Pettersson with 2:39 left. I was like, oh, no. But the Leafs do kill it, which I am quite surprised because it was similar to what happened with Kerfoot earlier. Marner failed to clear it, and deja vu came over me. But they were able to kill it off. It stays 1-1 after 2. However, the Canucks outshot the Leafs 14-3 in the second period. On to the third. And into the third, I don't know what happened to Toronto, but I don't know, Keefe must have just let it go because the Leafs start the third quick. Nylander gets a chance, but just shoots high. Riley gets a chance, and Holtby makes a great glove save, gets a glove on it to just put it over the net. The Leafs look quick and strong early. It's better from the Leafs. They needed to do this all period, and for the majority of it, they did. Anderson follows this up. He makes 2 good glove saves on Juolevi. After one, Nylander gave a horrible giveaway in his own zone, and then a lost draw. But again, like the Leafs, thankful for Fred. He's keeping him in it. Leafs then get a power play after a hectic frenzy in front of Holtby. Barabanov makes he makes a nice rush down the wing, feeds it out front. Tavares gets a few whacks at it when Virtanen misplays the puck. But then they go to the power play, and it's absolutely atrocious. Passes are off the mark. They're mishandling the puck. It's just pure disappointment. A disaster would be an understatement for that power play. And then, following the power play, Hyman gets pulled down by Edler. Maybe there could have been a call there. Maybe. I don't know. But I didn't really even worry about if it was a penalty or not. I was more worried, oh no, is Hyman going to be hurt? Because when he goes down, his knee gets caught behind him. So his leg gets caught behind him and he falls onto his knee. I was like, oh, geez. MCL, ACL, whatever. Something's going. But luckily, he got up. He skated to the bench. The Leafs couldn't afford another injury. And Hyman stays in the game. Following a nice Mikheyev rush, it was nice to see a burst of speed there, waiting for that all game. Hyman's line goes back out, and it's Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. They, with I guess a sprinkle of Rasmus Sandin, they do their thing. Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner do their thing. And just like it was talked about in the second intermission, Vancouver is playing well, but they cannot give the Leafs any openings as their pure firepower, and boom, click, just like that, goal. And this is exactly what happens. Matthews gets a one-timer goal off a sideboards feed by Marner, who received the puck from Sandin, off a Matthews face-off win, and it's 2-1 Leafs. What a release, what a pass, what a face-off play. And Rasmus Sandin gets a point as well. Matthews now has 11 goals, and this is exactly what they were talking about. It takes 5 seconds, and the Leafs can burn you, and they do here. And then next shift happens. Kerfoot, Spets, and Mikheyev. So Superman Mikheyev, he's on the forecheck. Wins the battle. Feeds Kerfoot at front of the net. Goal. Just like that. Top corner. Kerfoot makes amends for his misplay on the penalty kill that led to that goal, the first goal by Vancouver. And it's 3-1. 2 goals in 12 seconds. This is exactly what the Leafs can do. They can play crap all game, and all you have to do is give them a little opening. Vancouver has to be kicking themselves. You can't give this Leafs team an inch. They gave them a little bit more, and they made them pay. And that's really basically what happens for the rest of the game. That's how the game goes. A couple more chances here and there for both teams. Vancouver gets a chance with a power play around the 4:30 mark. Miller crushes the crossbar, and that's just the way it is for Vancouver right now. It's a great shot over the blocker, but they just can't catch a break, and the Leafs kill the penalty. And that's it. The Leafs can thank Freddie Anderson this game. He played outstanding once again, and he gave them a chance to sort themselves out. And it took 2 periods for them to do it, and then they finally looked like the Leafs that we've seen the previous 2 games. And they were able to scrape out a victory. So there you have it. The Leafs beat Vancouver 3-1. They're now 10-2-1 on the season. They're first in the division, and they get a big rival game next. Bring on Montreal. Go, Leafs, go.